Kia ora whānau, and welcome to a early morning episode of Get a Job and Get Healthy with Costas Enterprises. I am your host, Alex Costas, and you might be asking why so early. The time right now is 6:15 in the morning on Friday, and the reason why is I didn't release an episode yesterday and decided that I wanted to release an episode this morning because there is currently an NFT drop for the NBA Top Shot, which I knew that started at 6 a.m. So I thought, why not do a podcast while I'm waiting in line? And the NFT itself dropped the queue dropped in at 6 o'clock, but you could join the queue about 10 minutes beforehand. Now, I set my alarm. This is something I'm actually, as you guys can tell, I'm pretty passionate about, even though it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't usually get up for another at least hour normally, but I thought, I'll get up, I'll try my luck, see how I go, if I'm able to purchase a pack. Now, they've changed the way that they've done this NBA Top Shot this time. It used to be that they had a certain number of packs and you could buy the pack and then that would be done. It looks like what they're doing is they're actually keeping this queue open for new people to join for up to 2 days. So they've started it at 11 a.m. American time. I think it's EST from right now, so that's why it's only just started, and it's going to be open until tomorrow. Now, I am not yet sure if it is you can only buy one pack at a time and then you come out and you get it, or I think you can only buy one pack. They haven't really said in there, but what they have done is they've changed the way that when you actually buy the pack, while you wait in the queue, it does sort of say the queue is slightly different, and it says everyone who's registered will get an opportunity to buy a pack. So if you're in the waiting room, you will get the opportunity, and so that's pretty cool. So here we go. The queue will run from April 29th at 11 a.m. PDT. And sorry, I don't know what PDT is. Until April 30 at 5 p.m. PDT. The queue is 30 hours, and it will give the collectors a chance to get a pack on their schedule. If you join and get a high queue number, feel free to leave and join again later, as long as you come back before April 30, 5 p.m. And you've got the option to sort of be emailed and wait, or you can wait in the queue yourself. So I did this, I registered, and I'm doing this all on my phone. So literally while I'm recording this podcast episode, I am back in the Top Shot website, looking at the queue go down. Now I got given a queue about 6:02, but registered about 5:55. So I was in 5 minutes before, and they've got a countdown while you wait. I, for some reason, have some issues trying to access the NBA Top Shot website from things like my work computer. So I think it's just that all the updates need to happen for them to run the new website that they've got. But I can run it on my home one, but I thought I'm going to try and use my mobile, because this way I can go back in and out, and I can also do this podcast at the same time. So when I first got into the queue, you get told it's going to take 1 to 2 minutes to get assigned a random queue number. So you don't get assigned based on the time that you join, which in this instance actually has helped me a bit, because every other time that I've joined, I've been like, there's been about 320,000 people ahead of me. This time I joined and I was sitting at about 94,564. Now it has currently been 20 minutes in the queue, and that's already dropped to 84,938. So while I talk to you guys, I hope that that's going to go down a little bit more. I'm not exactly sure this time when we're going to get the pack. This is kind of like a pre-register part, so I would say we're probably going to get the pack in a couple of weeks. That's what happened last time they did a pre-register. Now the pre-register did take a little bit longer. It took close to 3 weeks for us to get our cards, or our NFTs, sorry. And you will have seen there's quite a few NFT things going on at the moment, or at least I'm starting to see a lot more. We had the, I don't know if I told you guys about the Undertaker wrestler NFT, which was done a little bit differently to the way the NBA Top Shop do their NFTs. They only had a select number of Undertaker ones based on what it was, but you not only got the Undertaker NFT, which people were, paying 10,000, whatever, but you also got some physical stuff as well that was like signed by Mark Calloway, who was of course the Undertaker for those that don't know, which I thought was very, very cool, and kind of makes it a little bit personal. In fact, if you did get the personal one, you got like your own Undertaker urn signed by him. You could get a custom designed WWE belt as well. Like there was quite a bit of stuff that they would send you physically, which was different, but very, very cool. And then of course, if you follow Gary Vaynerchuk, he's planning on doing an NFT drop on the 5th of May, but he's using an actual, he's telling people that they can only buy it with a crypto, which that's kind of how you purchase these NFTs. You need to have some money in crypto of some kind, but it's not necessarily like Bitcoin. You can use Bitcoin to buy them, but realistically, even their website says use a credit card, load your funds into the Dapper, which is the currency that we're using at the moment. So the Dapper currency wallet will hold your money and buy the NFT this way. But and there's of course yesterday, if you follow Jay and Silent Bob, so Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes, they just literally dropped their NFT as well, which I didn't look into because I am a big Kevin Smith fan. Like I find him I find him and his movies quite funny and stuff. And so he dropped a couple of NFTs as well, which, yeah, it was a bit of a shock because there was no previous announcements from him about it that he was doing it. He might have put it on his podcast, but he definitely didn't put it on his Facebook or his Instagram before that. So yeah, as I said, I'm currently down. So I told you I was sitting about 83,000. I'm now, or 84,000. I'm now 82,758. So the other different thing is you've only got 20 minutes to purchase your pack now. Now I think that's what's speeding everyone up, because before they were like, look, you get your place in queue, you get sent an email, and then you've got an hour to buy your pack basically. So they are doing it a little bit differently now. My concern is whether I'll be able to go back and go buy another pack. I assume I probably can't, because usually with these pre-registration deals, you get one pack, that's it. But they haven't significantly actually said that. So yeah, I don't know. I might, and if I buy it and they let me buy another one after, I might join the queue just to see. I expect there will be quite a few people who will be buying these. Now, of course, because this is the base set, what will happen is there will be a multitude of new NFTs created and minted, meaning that the ones that you get from the pack they have quite high serial numbers, essentially devaluing it a little bit more than you would think. But it will mean that if you got into the NFT, the NBA Top Shop NFTs earlier, those that have the higher number, the lower number of the serial number, or like the jersey number of the serial number, it means that those people are going to get, at least some money out of that, because that's going to be good for them. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Dropped again 81,586 people in front. On a personal note, I want to say a huge thank you to all the support I received about my podcast episode 2 days ago. I raised the issue of me losing my father, and it being that day being 20 years old from when he passed away. So it was I was told it was quite raw, and I personally appreciate that. I think, and I said this in the podcast, like, you guys are my whānau, you guys are my family, and you should know about that stuff. And so some of my friends that didn't really know about that sort of life of me, because they've become my friend after, well after that happened. They didn't know all the stuff, and they were like, I didn't realise. Well, yeah, well, that's kind of what happened. So yeah, I'm sitting at about 9 listens for that episode already, and of course this one will still go up today. Giveaway is still going to be on. We're currently sitting at 923 listens. So I know I haven't given you sort of an update last week, but in the last sort of couple of weeks, we've gone from sort of 700 to 920, and I'm doing a giveaway at 1,000. So yeah, get those questions to me. Every question will get you an entry. And as I said, the prizes are, you get either me as a consultant for, a business venture, or help with your CV or cover letter, star examples, all that sort of stuff, interview questions if you're applying for a job. You can also get all the other choice, and all these are choices for you. It's $100 worth of my designs on Redbubble, which I will pay for and then send to you. Probably a personal note or something like that. But yeah, first you guys need to put your questions in. So if you put your question in, I will answer them on after the 1,000 listen show. Another thing is, this is actually episode 50, which I was hoping to do, something special for episode 50, just because it is a milestone podcast episode. Like, I didn't think I'd be doing this. It is funny that I have been doing this sort of over a year now, and it's a really, again, it's a really thankful episode, because I am thankful to you guys for basically helping me get through my things. Like, I started this podcast during lockdown because, well, let's be real, I was going a little bit crazy. I was stuck in a little baby room for weeks on end. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't living in poverty or anything like that, but it was very hard. I was away from family, I was away from my girlfriend, my partner, and I wasn't allowed to leave the house pretty much because of the fact of how I was very, very likely to catch things like COVID. My immune system, you guys know, is not fantastic, and because of that, it's one of those situations where I just have to be careful every time I leave. So I'd fully mask up and all that sort of stuff. And so I started this podcast, originally thinking no one's going to listen, what's going on, and I sort of tweeted it out, got no responses, shared it, got no responses, and then people started listening, and I was like, whoa, how are they finding my podcast? And then this was in the days before it got joined by Spotify and Apple, and I used the Anchor platform, and people found me on Anchor, and people listened. So as soon as people started listening, I started talking more and discussing everything. And originally the intention was it was just going to be on sort of the recruitment things and also following my keto journey, which I sort of obviously have stopped my keto journey. But now I'm more on the plant-based journey. And it was all those sorts of podcasts. I'm going to be honest, a lot of those were taken from my blog, which I started writing my blog. I know I haven't written anything for a while on my blogs, and I do intend to get back to it. And so I was pretty much reading from my blog, because I was like, these are basically little mini podcast episodes, and at the time I had 20 articles. It was like, I've got 20 podcast episodes, that's sweet as. And this podcast merged to be my primary function and my primary advice giving function. And yeah, it's been really, really great, and really, really thankful that you guys have continued to listen. I know I don't have much of an established audience. I've got about 7 established, and that goes from 7 to 8 to 12 to 7 to 8 to 12. But for those that do listen, I really appreciate you. I hope to have another 50 episodes in me. When we do 2 more, it'll be officially, 52 episodes. It's a year worth of episodes for 1 a week. And that'll be another little mini milestone, but not as big as, of course, number 50. I was reading a book called So You Want to Build a Podcast? And that So You Want to Build a Podcast episode is by, I think her name is Costas, and it basically talked about how most die off after the first sort of 15 episodes. And so for me, hitting 50 is pretty shocking, because I did think this was going to die off before then. I thought no one's going to listen, but I've got consistent listeners, which is amazing. So yeah, again, another huge thank you to you guys. NFT update, I'm currently now sitting at 76,052 ahead of me, so you never know, we might even get this while I make my ramblings that I'm doing now. We may even get close enough to actually purchase a pack. Probably not. Oh, sorry guys. So yeah, I want to be thankful to all of you guys, as always. So we got the giveaway, we got that. I got my letters of support. Redbubble, update on Redbubble. We might as well go through everything while we're doing the big 50 episode and we wait. But basically, the Redbubble is going well. I haven't sold anything extra this month. I've already made a couple of sales this month, and that's pretty good for me. I usually get about 1 to 2 sales a month, except March, which was just crazy, where I had I sold 8 products randomly too. I mean, I think I was part of a trend there, but I'm consistently getting views on my Redbubble. I did do a little mini social media thing about 2 weeks ago. Just put some photos up on Instagram, put some photos up on Facebook, and it generated a little bit of traffic there. It generated about 30-40 people to the website through social media. But I was getting a lot of stuff from my Redbubble direct, which was like, whoa, where the hell did that come from? And a lot of them came from Sweden, and it was regarding one of my Never Forget, and it was the Polaroid. I must have got 70 odd views on one page. I was like, what the hell's going on? So yeah, it was very, very interesting and weird, but I'm currently sitting at around 170 visitors to the website, which will be more than what I've I think this month, assuming it still goes up, I will hit more than what I actually have hit before. Last month I got up to like 163, I believe, and I'm pretty much on par with that at the moment, a little bit more I think now. So it's definitely working. I'm definitely getting noticed, which is good. Pricing is really weird. I spent all this time doing pricing conventions and making it like, 0.99 and all those sort of things, and then 2 times since Redbubble has changed it again, and I don't know why. They don't really explain it, but it's just like randomly your numbers will go from, if you had a t-shirt for sort of $14.99, it now changes to $15.13, and you're like, wait, what? Why is that? So I'm not exactly sure why that's changing. It just means having to go back in and redo all of them. Now, it's not exactly the easiest thing. I don't make it simple that you can set the price. It's just you've got to set your profit margin, and that's a little bit different to do, because you can either go 5% to all, which is an idea, but again, it won't make it part of the naming convention of making it like $19.99 or $29.99, which is more likely to develop someone to sell or to click through, because they'll be like, oh, $19.99, it's not $20, click. Which is just a normal human nature thing. Okay, update, we're at 74,000. So, recruitment wise, there's been no real big changes. A lot of places are still using star examples. CVs are going well. I have been looking at people's CVs and cover letters as well, which has been good. And yeah, it's sort of got me back into it, which is good. Because I do believe that you do need to know about that sort of stuff, and sort of upskill yourself a bit more on that. I have been doing a lot more thinking about what I want to do with my future. Me and my partner are looking at hopefully buying a house once I pay off my debt, and I looked at the figures, and I will effectively be debt-free in about 3 more pays. So that's me adding a little bit of extra at the last one. But in 3 pays, I expect to be completely debt-free, which is going to be crazy. It's the first time in 20 years that I would have been debt-free. It's also the first time that one of the things I do want to buy for myself is a new phone, so I can start doing, some vlogging and stuff, some YouTube stuff. And I can't really, excuse myself from doing that if I have a new phone that'll let me do everything that I need to do without, making me feel like I've got an excuse to say no. So that's going to be new. But that said, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how everything goes with being able to actually pay for things without having to put things on credit for, especially big ticket items like, a brand new phone sort of thing. So yeah, that's pretty shocking. I worked out last night because I couldn't really sleep. And no, that's not because of the NBA Top Shot NFT that we're buying at the moment, but, just general not sleeping stuff. And I worked out this last year, from yesterday's date to a year back, almost exactly to the day, maybe off 1 or 2 days, I paid off about 14,000 of my debt. Now, I repay my debt at usually 450, but recently I have started paying off, putting extra money that I used to pay off my car to pay off the rest of this debt, just so I can crush the debt. And I worked out, I paid about $14,813 or something silly like that. And it just shocked me because I was like, wait, I had that much that I paid off? Like, that could have been savings. That could have been, like, that 14,000 could be a deposit for the house, That's, well, not exactly a full deposit, obviously, but it would go towards deposit. So, yeah, it's been really eye-opening doing the whole paying off the debt and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting once I get to that challenge, because then I've got to learn the challenge of actually not buying everything again, which you'd think I would have learned by now, but come on. I'm buying an NFT as we speak, so that's going to tell you something. In the way of my plant-based stuff, I have been very non-plant-based the last sort of 48 hours. I've had a lot of meat, barbecue meat and stuff like that, which has been fantastic. But I am still doing it. In fact, my partner made a really, really yummy tofu, stir-fried tofu, with veggies and stuff. And yeah, I know I've talked about this before, but I never used to like tofu. Specifically, I never used to like the soft tofu, the one that is basically like, spongy, without being bouncy, and being wet. That's the kind of tofu that I don't like. And she found a way around it, and it is amazing. And I love her even more for that sort of stuff. Because, yeah, it's really, really nice just to eat it, and it act like, it looks like halloumi cheese when it's cooked, and I don't really like cheese and halloumi cheese and all that sort of stuff. I like cheese in the way of melted on a pizza, but my partner has a way of cooking the tofu a special way that it's kind of golden, that looks like halloumi, has the consistency of a little bit of meat, and tastes quite nice because of the seasoning and stuff that she puts with it. So yeah, we had that the other night, and it was really lovely, to the point where I pretty much demolished it. It's been really, really lovely. And we had kale chips as well, that my partner picked and grew her own kale, and so we got an air fryer. However, this time she didn't use the kale chips in the air fryer. She actually did them in the oven, and they came out really, really nice. I will admit that when I first tried to create kale chips myself in the oven, when I was sort of cooking by myself, it did not end out well. I tried to follow the instructions of what the guy did, and including like timing and all that sort of stuff, and yeah, let's just say they burnt to a crisp. I still maintained that they were okay, and I tried to eat them, and then my partner was like, no, you're not eating those, that's a complete burn, that's dangerous for you. And I'm like, no, it's not, it's only burn. She's like, no, there's chemicals. And I was like, what? Helps when you're dating a scientist, right? And yeah, so that plant-based stuff's been going well. Quick update on the NFT, we're currently sitting at 69,735 people ahead of me. So that's not bad for 45 minutes of waiting. It means we've lost close to 30,000. just under 30,000 people in 45 minutes. So it is worth doing it. I would consider people, given the fact that they've got this open for another 30 hours, 29 hours, 15 minutes or whatever, if you do want to get into NFT things, it is only going to cost you $9 for the NBA Top Shot. Now, you won't get high numbers. You won't get low numbers of the serial of the NFT if you do buy one. But you may be lucky enough to get like a LeBron or a LaMelo or one of those sort of high value people. That's what I'm hanging out on. I'm hoping to get someone that I'd love a James Harden. I would love a James Harden, or even a Kyrie or a Kevin. Like all of these guys are big, and even in the NFT world, like if they go on to sort of lead, become MVP or anything like that, they will get, that particular NFT will go up, obviously, especially if they're playing for the team that I support, which is the Nets. If they go all the way, then those NFTs will go with the market and more people will want them and all that sort of stuff. Well, this is a way for almost everyone to get in to buy a pack. Now, in the time that we've talked, we've gone, as I said, over 30,000. I'm currently now sitting at 68483. So as you can see, it actually updates pretty regularly, like probably it's at least every 1 to 2 minutes, the queue updates. It's quite cool. Of course, if you do get if your queue does come up to your number, then you get an email as well if you sign up. Now, when you go down to the bottom, it goes, also email me when it's my turn. The email does take a little while to get to you, like probably about maybe 3 or 4 minutes. And then you'll get another email saying, hey, you're in the queue, it's ready. But again, that'll be another 3 to 4 minutes. And you, in this instance, you only have 20 minutes to purchase your pack, as opposed to the usual, which is an hour. And I do think this is a good thing for them to do. Having a queue this long, the time to purchase a pack for the long time, it does mean that, yes, it does mean that there's going to be a lot of packs going out there, and they get a better idea of exactly who's trying to buy a pack, let alone, the numbers of packs. And it's only $9 to purchase one of these things. As I said last time when I opened my pack, which I will do another pack opening through a podcast as well, I found that my very first or second card actually basically bought my pack back for me, so everything else was profit. Now, I haven't sold any of my moments. I've held on to them because if I do want to, go forward and try to get like a legendary, I do need to actually have a certain thing. So since my last pack that I got, this will be the first pack I bought, but I have tried to register for the Cool Cats one, which I missed out on that, unfortunately. I was sort of sitting at about 98,000 ahead of me, and they only had I was sitting at about 200,000, and they only had 98,000. So it does pay to get up earlier, I'm finding, because I sort of almost cut my position in the queue by about a third by getting up 10 minutes before so that I can get it. Now, if they drop another Cool Cats, I am going to try that depending on the time. And the NBA Top Shot has actually updated so that it also shows the New Zealand time where you want to buy it. So it goes, this goes live in such a time. That's why I was like, 6 o'clock, it's cool to know. And, I know it's a very small thing, but it's a nice little, hey, we know you're from New Zealand, this is the time, now you know when to log in. So, yeah, I think going forward, I hopefully get one of these big ones, but if I want to get like a rare pack, then I need to do extra things. So you might need sort of 8 moments, or with the legendary that they dropped recently, it was like, it was crazy. You had to have 15 moments in general. You had to have at least, I believe, 3 rare moments, or at least 3 rare moments. have spent over $99 in the marketplace, have a legendary yourself, which means, most of those legendaries go for at least $1,000. So it's not something I'm expecting to get anytime soon, but it would be nice if I did. And yeah, there was a lot of conditions on it, but they were only releasing a certain things, and each pack costed $99 US. So this is not the $999 pack that we had talked about before, but a separate one altogether. But with one of those legendaries there. Now the legendaries are the more expensive. Usually one is at least $1,000. Even the lower tier ones, the higher ones can be, the LeBron is, I think, 250,000. It's crazy. And if it's a low serial number, it's even better. They only make, I think, limited up to 10 of those, of each of the artists that they pick. So that by having that, you've got a high risk item, so it is worth getting them, sort of thing. But yeah, it's quite cool. Actually, no, I don't think it's 10. It must be more than that, because they sell 10,000 packs, I think. So maybe it's only restricted to 10, but they do have a stamping on it. Of course, if it's a first edition, it's always going to be worth more. Kind of like comics and all that sort of things as well. But yeah, I will keep you guys updated, of course. If I get a pack, I'll let you know, because there's another 66,000 people, and I don't think we can keep this rambling on going for that long, considering I do actually have to get up and go to work. And usually I would have got up about 20 minutes ago. So yeah, even though I'm loving this, just talking and explaining and trying to get people to join the Top Shop group as well, I do think I better get up and actually do some proper work as well. This has been really fantastic. I hope everyone has a fantastic day. It looks like it will be a nice day out here. I'm literally looking out my window at the Brooklyn windmill, which, if you haven't seen, it's just a windmill, but it's quite cool. And the sun is literally rising as we talk. We've had daylight savings, so it's a little bit, different. Sorry. But it makes me think that today's going to be a good day. So go out there and have your own good day. Remember that I love you. I suspect that we will probably hit our 1,000 listens very, very soon. So yeah, get those emails to me, doncostas@gmail.com. That's all lowercase. That's DON for Nike, COSTAS @gmail.com. Please hit me up. Give me your things. You'll go into the draw, as well as I can do a answer session after that. The giveaway will go as long as the giveaway will go basically until after the 1,000 listens sort of episode. So we will give you, when I hit 1,000 listens, I will tell you guys that you have a week to submit. If you haven't already submitted, then all questions will be considered. A number will be picked at random with the actual winning number, and then that will be, I will answer the questions, and then on that answer question episode, which will hopefully be maybe episode 52, I will pick someone at random, and then that person, I will contact them with their email and give them the option, and yeah, go from there. So thank you so much, guys. Have a fantastic day. I love you all, as always, and as always, good luck.